You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Stewart's Automotive Group has become synonymous with the auto industry in Jamaica and is breaking ground for the construction of its new home of the Jaguar Land Rover brand. And Business Access TV is here at South Avenue for the coverage. I'm Jamila Maitland. Stay with us.
Thank you for being here. Good morning and Happy New Year. What an awesome event for us. I cannot believe that we're here today breaking ground, a project that we had hoped to have done in 2008. It's taken us an additional 10 years due to many ups and downs, and we've done it. We could not have done it without all of you here. You have held our hand on this journey, and for that, we love you and we thank you. The Stewart's Automotive Group is proud to be kicking off 2019 in a big way with the official groundbreaking of what will be the new Jaguar Land Rover showroom and service center. This is a historic day for us, and we're very excited about what it means for Jaguar Land Rover customers, the Stewart's Automotive Group, and ultimately Jamaica as a whole. So what does it mean? The new home of Jaguar Land Rover represents investment in the brand, the best to showcase its combination of versatility and luxury, an increased opportunity for employment, and the continued growth of our group and country, beautiful Jamaica. Jaguar Land Rover, the art of performance. I'm delighted to welcome you here this morning, and on behalf of the entire Stewart's Automotive Group, I'd like to thank you for joining us as we put shovel and dirt to mark this special occasion as we go above and beyond. So we're going to have some remarks from my brother Duncan Stewart.
The symbolic groundbreaking for a project that's very important to us. As you can see, we've already started, so this is a symbolic gesture today. Some history. Stewart's Automotive Group celebrates its 81st anniversary this year, and we are proud to continue the legacy that my grandfather, my father, and my mother have continued. This legacy has been built on hard work, determination, and investing when other people wouldn't. It has been built on service. Service to our customers, service to our staff, service to our country. And we are proud that this legacy continues in our young fourth generation who are here today with us. Our family took over Jaguar Land Rover brand 3 years ago, and since then we've operated in a temporary facility at South Camp Road. In that time, we've grown from strength to strength by raising the benchmark for service and quality, whilst introducing fantastic new models that have raised the standards of luxury motoring in Jamaica. We are proud to say that many of you here today have experienced the brand promises of our premium products. Above and beyond for Land Rover, the art of performance for Jaguar, and I thank you for that. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are excited to say that luxury has indeed found a new home right here. Here at Arthur Wint Drive, where both Jaguar and Land Rover will be housed. We are proud to say that we are bullish on Jamaica and bullish on the Jaguar Land Rover brands, putting our money where our mouth is. Our $13 million investment in this project will allow our group to offer our Jaguar Land Rover customers a world-class retail experience. And it will allow us to expand our horizons into real estate development with the additional space that we will have here for rent. The building will have 5 stories, covering approximately 5,000 square meters, 50,000 square feet for the rest of us. With JLR occupying the first 2 floors of the property, and we'll have rental property occupying the upper floors. We are working around the clock to have our showroom open and ready for the end of March. and to finish the project by September. And to give you some food for thought, what you see already built here started in October, so we are accelerating. Our Jaguar Land Rover facility will be very exciting, the first of its kind in the Caribbean, and of that we are proud. Built to Stuart's and Jaguar Land Rover's exacting standards, we've left no stone unturned to deliver on our family's promise of unparalleled service to our customers. With this facility, we will have the space to grow and to service our growing Jaguar Land Rover vehicle population in Jamaica. The layout, combined with investments in tooling and training, will allow us to raise our productivity. And of course, this standalone facility will give our customers exclusivity and dedicated attention that they don't have right now. Of course, any new construction, especially of this magnitude and investment, comes with benefits. For one, direct employment will be created for the persons in and around the community who will be part of the construction team. We will also house a business process outsourcing facility that will create employment opportunities for Jamaicans in this area and beyond. Secondly, our luxury brands, Jaguar and Land Rover, will now be housed here. The ambience and appeal of this location will no doubt be raised. We will set the standard in this area. Thirdly, we see this project as one that will heighten the sense of pride for persons operating and living in this area. And these are just a few of the many benefits that we will bring. I'm thankful to the government and other relevant stakeholders having played a very supportive role in this project to date. Prime Minister Holness, your presence today is a true demonstration of your support and that of your administration. On behalf of the entire Stuart's Automotive Group family, I want to thank you for taking the time to be here with us. I'd also like this opportunity to thank our staff, our over 500 dedicated professionals whose hard work has made Stuart's Automotive the powerhouse that we are. We couldn't have done this without you. Finally, I would be remiss not to thank all of our valued customers across the entire group for all the brands that we represent. Thank you for continuing to trust us with your driving experience. Thanks to everyone.
I do want to commend the Stuart family for this investment here, and particularly because you're not just moving the showroom for Jaguar and Land Rover, but you're making an investment in space for the BPO industry, a sector that I believe in strongly, one that has demonstrated tremendous growth and one that will continue to grow. And I think the location, it's hard to find a more ideal location than this. You're on pretty much a main thoroughfare, you're close to major centers, and it will be, in my view, quickly snapped up by those investors who are looking for space. But you've made a commitment, and you put your money where your mouth is. And this property, I think, is going to continue to change the landscape of this area. There is another building further up, Arthur Wint, which Daryl was at, where we broke ground. Wicon is building the lofts. There are other developments taking place which will transform the area. Persons are being employed on the construction. Persons will be here permanently. And I think it's a real testament to the commitment of the family. I know, going back to your grandfather, the second generation, you are the third, and I know the fourth is here. And I want to commend the family for this commitment, and in particular the matriarch, Diana, who continues to play her role in the family business. The country has seen a lot of growth, and I could probably name in this area alone 5 or 6 major projects taking place. And by major projects, if you're looking for a crane, you look for a crane when you're talking about a major project. And there are a number of them taking place. And that is a positive thing. It genuinely provides employment opportunities, and it's a good thing. So I'm happy as a member of Parliament to be a part of this and to support all the work that you're doing. And I want to commend the family again and pledge my support as you see through the construction.
On the next episode of Weekend Business Report, human trafficking ring busted. Trinidad and Tobago police rescue Venezuelan girls forced into prostitution. That plus company news, the top business stories, and the latest stock market numbers from around the world. That's Weekend Business Report with me, Keneal Gale, this Saturday and Sunday.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
I am pleased to be here because it is a sign of the confidence that the private sector is having in the economy. Let me say clearly for everyone that this is not a simple matter for someone or a group of people to take up their savings or other people's savings, to put themselves in debt, to take a risk because there is no certainty or surety or guarantee in business. It is a risk. Obviously, entrepreneurs, enterprising people are not reckless people. They would have sat and they would have calculated the risk. They would have done their assessment. Now, Julian pointed out euphemistically that much progress started under his administration and we are building on it. And that's a good thing. That is not something that should be denied. That indeed is the definition of progress and prosperity. When you build on what was there and do better than what was there. But in this regard, I take note of Jackie's statement that this project was actually conceived in 2008. So you see, it is passing through administrations. But in the sense as well, there is a certain sadness because it has taken so long. And that, my friends, is the challenge with doing business in Jamaica. It takes far too long. We have to do things, obviously, to make it easier to do business. And Minister Vaz has charge of that with ensuring that all the various elements that go into the ease of doing business, that those elements are improved. And we are strategically focused on that. But doing business is also a function of the general macroeconomic environment. So the ease of doing business are usually microeconomic considerations. But the macroeconomy is also very important. Things such as interest rates, things such as certainty with taxes. What will the government do with its tax policy? And how will that affect your income streams when you make the investment? It is quite clear that from the fiscal standpoint, from the macro standpoint, government has acted in such a way as to give greater certainty to the economic environment, to allow businesses to take future decisions, and not just short-term future, but long-term future decisions, and to bring forward or actualize their investment decisions. This would be a perfect example of that. So I believe Jamaicans can feel satisfied in their government that the continued sacrifice for fiscal discipline has resulted in an economic environment in which businesses can take decisions and risks about investments. But we still need to make even greater progress on the micro issues. For example, how long does it take a business to get electricity? How long does it take you to get titling? How long does it take you to get approvals to do all of this? And the mayor of Kingston and St. Andrew, my good friend, is here, and he knows the government's grave concern about how quickly we get the simple things done to make big investments happen. On another note, I observed keenly the last outturn on growth, 1.8%. Like most Jamaicans, I am not impressed. We want more growth, but we look at the glass for where it is. The truth is that we have been growing consistently. Not the level of growth that we want. I certainly don't consider it takeoff growth. When we get over 2%, then we will be in that range to start to take off. But as Julian knows, the investment decisions that you take today as business people do not have an immediate effect on growth. There is a lag. And that lag period in Jamaica, what we call the transmission of the growth, takes some time. Again, because of systemic weaknesses in our system, the lag between making the actual investment and that investment turning out and showing up in the growth figures takes some time. So you will see growth going into the future. But people always say to me, we see all these investments going on, as Julian was saying, that the national bird now is going to become the crane. Because we see so many cranes around Jamaica, particularly here in Kingston, new buildings being constructed. So it is a puzzle to many as to why is it that the growth numbers are not larger. There are many explanations, and I seek to prefer one to be considered. For many years, there has been a disinvestment in capital. In other words, capital formation in Jamaica over the past few decades has been negative. So in the national accounting systems, the disinvestment and the negative capital formation would mean that your ability to grow and grow rapidly would be limited. What you're seeing happening now is a return to investment in capital goods. A building, especially a plant, is considered to be a capital investment. And you can measure that in many ways. One, you can see movement in the stock market. You can see movement in the private equity and debt market. Because usually those kinds of movement and liveliness in that market would signal that people are borrowing to make capital investments. And we're seeing that now happening in Jamaica. So the preconditions for significant growth is being set. But you're not going to see it happen just yet right now. Again, the transmission, the lag is there. And I've been to many groundbreakings of similar nature. An immediate effect on the economy is that it creates jobs. And I'm very happy for that. Because it is one thing to have growth, but growth without jobs is immiseration. So we are happy that the growth that we are seeing, even though it is not at the level at which we want it to be, it is creating significant employment. In fact, you know, I'm proud to say there are more Jamaicans employed today than ever in the history of the employment statistics. That is the case. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, that Jamaica can and will achieve full employment. We need to continue this pace of capital formation. We need to continue this pace of investment, and we will achieve full employment, which in itself will create a larger demand, which in itself will drive consumption, which in itself will drive economic growth.
So Jaguar Land Rover has been sharing space with Suzuki down at our South Camp Road office, and frankly there's not enough space for both brands. So we've always been planning to build here, and so it's about saying when are the conditions right for us to make the right investment. And so we see that, you know, the track that Jamaica is going on, the track that Jaguar Land Rover as a brand is going on, means that's the right time to invest.
It has been 10 years in the making. What does this mean for the persons living around here and just, you know, development overall of this space?
Well, you know, there are not many properties in Kingston this size that can be developed with what we want to do. So we're fortunate. We've owned this property for quite a long time. The construction here is bringing jobs to the neighborhood, so we are employing people here. All of the people who are working in the project are Jamaicans. So we have Jamaican construction, Jamaica architect, Jamaica engineers, and so on. And then, of course, the project, when it comes to fruition, is going to provide jobs because we'll have a BPO here. And, you know, this property is well located centrally. We have a tertiary education institution next door. We have a hospital next door. And we have neighborhoods next door that, you know, can provide workers with jobs in this industry. And, of course, for Jaguar Land Rover, you know, we're getting our business all in one place, exclusive property just for Jaguar Land Rover customers. We're going to have productivity driven through our business because we are designing it from scratch.
You are celebrating your 81st anniversary. You know, how long has this been in the making, and what do we expect from the Stewart's Automotive going forward?
So, you know, we took over the Jaguar Land Rover brand 3 years ago. So it's been in the making for 3 years to put Jaguar Land Rover. Before we were going to put another brand here, but the circumstances of the Lehman crash made the economy and the motor vehicle business very tenuous. Now we have growth again. 2016 was the first year that the car business sold the same number of cars as 2007. So we've had a long time coming back to where we are now, and we see growth on the horizon, and we're very bullish about the future.
What would you say to investors who probably are a little bit skeptic about, putting money where their mouth is, as you said? What kind of advice would you give them?
Well, you know, the real issue is about whether you're confident about Jamaica, about Jamaicans, and about the future. And we are, and we invite other people to take the same view. If you look around, you do see people making investments. So it's not that we are alone, right? The thing is that it's time for Jamaicans to change their own future. We have to build it together, and we have to do it together.
That's it from us here at the groundbreaking ceremony for the showrooms of Jaguar and Land Rover. I'm Jamila Maitland for Business Access TV, serious about business.
Hi, Mas Errol. How you do?
Not too bad.
This was so interesting in the paper today, Mas Errol.
Enough things. Did you know that the EU has been doing a lot of work in Jamaica?
Who is the EU again, Mas Errol?
The European Union. A group of European nations that come together to promote social and economic progress and peace across the world.
For true? Newspaper is all well and good, but I bet I can find more information from the internet. I know just the person to call. Hi, Minister.
Minister.
Hi, Jody. Hi, Errol. What can you tell us about how the European Union has been helping Jamaica?
Over the past 43 years, we have received approximately 1.2 billion euros, and this has run the gamut of a number of developmental programs. A particular area of support has been in the area of agriculture. The EU has provided grant funding and support funding for sugar-dependent areas.
Between 2006 and 2017, the EU provided some 23 billion Jamaican dollars to help people living in areas that are dependent on sugar. Under the AMS, 397 houses have been built for residents. This replaces the old barracks-type housing in which they used to live.
The condition of the barracks were completely rough.
No light, no water.
We never have any transport. The bathroom is outside and the toilet was a pit toilet.
We never have no tank, we have a tank.
The lights are here, the bathroom inside, the kitchen inside.
Thank God for the benefit we have right now.
Nearly 200 miles of roads have been built or reconstructed in the parishes of St. Catherine, St. Thomas, Trelawney, St. James, Hanover, St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland and Clarendon.
Based on the roads that we did, it has created some form of ease for the truckers. Citizens of the area, they also benefit from the road.
More than 2,000 SDA residents have received vocational training.
The center would have been equipped to the tune of over 7 million Jamaican dollars to purchase various forms of training supplies and equipment across 3 skill areas: apiculture, bartending, and cosmetology.
I have been receiving training in various areas such as facial, massage, nail.
They have helped me to be certified and I can now earn an honest living from this.
The EU provided over 100 million Jamaican dollars in new business grants to residents in sugar-dependent areas.
Thanks to the EU for giving me this injection of 1,000 chicken, the feed and medication.
I received $1 million and it makes me into a woman that I am today.
The EU's AMS program has also funded extensive improvement to health facilities.
We expand the waiting area, operational space for our doctors and nurses.
The staff morale, it has improved because you're better able to work with more privacy.
With the funding, we're able to open this section we call the male ward. It is marked improvement over what it was.
You feel comfortable, feel like at home.
Enhancement of educational facilities.
I have assisted us in erecting an auditorium. We have a fully refurbished computer lab, and we have a library with over 300 books.
We got $11 million to build the facility, and it was a wonderful restroom for the school, and we appreciate it.
Upgrade of childcare facilities.
The funds were used to retile the bathrooms. We improved the plumbing area on the dorms, extended the kitchen and the dining room.
Conservation of the environment.
We embarked on a project here in Salt River, the Portland Biodiscovery Center. Funding has gone towards the erection of the building as well as the construction of the boardwalk.
Increased access to sporting facilities and the preservation of Jamaica's historical architecture.
We were fortunate to get funding for the rehabilitation of the building with computers and computer workstations.
The EU-Jamaica relationship has strengthened considerably in recent years.
Our contribution focused on building resilience, improving quality of life of people in the communities, and providing alternatives. I am absolutely confident that the strong and very constructive relationship that we have today, based on trust, based on partnership, will continue.
You see how the European Union partner with us?
You're right, Mas Errol. Life's sweet of it true with the EU.
Adam and Eve Day Spa and Salon plans to indulge you this Valentine's Day. Ah
yes. Drift away, cocoon your body in rich chocolatey goodness. Add a massage or a facial in our executive suite. Try out our Rainforest Water Massage to ignite your experience. Do your hair or a couple's mani-pedi. Treat your taste buds to succulent chocolate treats. Come, be pampered. Call us at 754-6018 or visit us at 22 Bago Avenue, New Kingston. Give the gift of love. Give Adam and Eve. Gift certificates available.
It's Friday, and you just tuned in to Jamaica's most informative program, Jamaica Magazine. It's good to see you again. In today's show, it's all things Jamaican. The day, the flag, and the national bird. Not gone away, we soon come.
Do you have a loved one, friend, or client who passed away since 1998? The Electoral Office of Jamaica needs your help to update the voters list with information for these persons, government agencies, churches, insurance companies, hospitals, and funeral homes, and you, the public. We want you to provide us with the records to confirm the status of these persons. Call the EOJ at 888-991-VOTE or visit the nearest EOJ office. For more information, visit our website at ecj.com.jm.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, February 8. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is pushing for the country to achieve above 2% in growth by the next quarter. The economy grew by an estimated 1.8% during the October to December quarter. Mr. Holness says his administration, along with the Economic Growth Council, are implementing measures to reverse the results. The tourism sector is targeted as an avenue to realize the double-digit growth targets.
If it is that we are importing all that we are using to build, then that doesn't count towards growth. If it is that we are importing all the food that will be sold in the hotels, that does not contribute towards growth. What contributes towards growth is when the farmer across the road can get his or her products into the hotel to be sold.
The Prime Minister was speaking at Wednesday's groundbreaking ceremony of Ocean Coral Spring by H10. The Spanish hotel chain H10 is building the 1,000-room resort, employing more than 1,000 workers. The government will be undertaking a public sector compensation review over the next 18 months. This will be accompanied by the development of a policy and fiscal strategies to achieve effective expenditure on public sector salaries and allowances. Finance and Public Service Minister Dr. Nigel Clarke says this will address the compensation structure in order to attain a wage bill in line with the gross domestic product ratio of 9%. According to Dr. Clarke, the 325 grade schemes and over 175 allowances which exist across the public sector make it difficult for the government to project budgets for salaries and allowances negotiated. The Finance Minister further indicates that because the grades are not compatible, they allow for all kinds of arbitrage.
So we are taking a strategic look at all these 325, and we have over 175 allowances. And we all understood how these arose. But it's a problem because when you have 175 allowances with 40 bargaining units, you can't keep track of the increase to the wage bill as you go through. And it also leads to inequities across the system.
The Finance Minister was providing an update on the government's public sector transformation program on Thursday. He adds that the Transformation Implementation Unit will also engage unions representing public sector workers, among other stakeholders, to discuss options for streamlining and making the compensation structures more efficient and more transparent. This undertaking, he assures, will gather momentum in the upcoming 2019-2020 financial year. The public should expect improved services out of the Ministry of Labour and Social Security during the upcoming fiscal year. This comes as a number of initiatives geared towards quality assurance will be finalized in the months ahead.
Many of the initiatives being pursued will begin to bear fruit in the 2019-2020 financial year, and some of these are the opening of new or improved parish offices. A new parish office in Hanover will be opened on the 28th of February. Construction is underway in St. Anne, and that construction is expected to be completed in the first quarter of the 2019-2020, with official opening by December 2019.
Minister Robinson was speaking at the ministry's recent press briefing. The St. James office is to be completely renovated, and drawings for the rehabilitation of the ministry's Ripon Road offices in Kingston are being finalized and will be put to tender by June. She also noted that the ministry's wide area network will be upgraded using fiber optic cable.
This upgrade will enable us to move more of our services online, expand the digitization of files in parishes, and reduce the use of paper.
Minister Robinson said that the digitization of NIS files began in June 2018, utilizing 18 HOPE interns, and to date over 50,000 files have been digitized. Karen Hall High School in St. Mary is the beneficiary of a wastewater treatment system and a piggery facility implemented by the Scientific Research Council and its partners. The over $6 million project received support from the Digicel Foundation, Food for the Poor, Caribbean Broilers Group, and American Friends of Jamaica. It is designed as a closed-loop system to recycle all nutrients and organic matter back into the soil while providing learning opportunities and financial benefits for the school and its community. The wastewater treatment facility is also expected to produce organic fertilizer and irrigated water for the school's farm, as well as biogas to be utilized as fuel for electrical purposes. Senior Education Officer Yashika Blackwood Grant, representing the Education Ministry at the handover on Tuesday, lauded the project, stating that it will enhance the science curricula and the development in technical skills for the students.
We have been rolling out strategies to develop the practical talents of our young people to support economic growth and industrialization. This environmental management system and piggery facility will thus be an important teaching center in the development of TVET skills.
And finally, the Ministry of Education will be expanding the number of expert mathematics teachers at the primary level under its specialist model. The news was revealed by Portfolio Minister Ruel Reid at the recent launch of the Micro University College's International Mathematics Summit. Senator Reid says schools will be provided with resources and that mathematics specialists will receive additional training accompanied by certification. He adds that under the specialist model, these teachers will be solely responsible for delivering the primary mathematics curriculum. 39 schools are currently benefiting under the initiative, which was piloted in 2018, but plans are in place to expand it to an additional 200 schools this year, with full implementation across the system scheduled for 2021. The MICO International Mathematics Teaching Summit is scheduled to take place from March 25 to 27, 2019, during the ministry's National Mathematics Week. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Jamaica Day 2019 was launched last week at Hope Gardens. The organizers revealed plans to make this year's staging more inclusive. As we wait for that, let's remind ourselves what happened last year.
Jamaica Day now is like a playback of an old movie and an old song where you get to know your culture a little bit more, and it's like reciting something. Each and every year
I think Jamaica Day is tremendously important for our students to really generate patriotism and to reflect on some of our great achievements and how we can use those achievements to move us forward.
And what are some of the things that make us great?
We're talking about our mountains. We're talking about some historic areas. We're talking about some rivers that are unique to Jamaica. We're talking about our wonderful natural spa, like the Bass Fountain, Rock River, Milk River, or beautiful beaches. Jamaica has one of the finest beaches in the world.
I am proud about our colors, the sun, the beaches, the lots, the hospitals too, the churches, the restaurants.
I must say the food is absolutely immaculate. It's just the best. It's amazing. And the music, especially the gospel music, it's amazing. And let's not forget our athletes. Our athletes are absolutely fantastic.
The culture is very unique. Everyone from other places come to Jamaica and just try to speak like us, try to adapt to our culture and everything. I just love Jamaica and I would not trade my Caribbean island for anywhere else.
Jamaicans are so creative. I remember making these with my siblings when I was younger. But today we have so many other new musical instruments. One of them that we see every day in all sorts of musical genre in Jamaica is our drums.
And speaking of music, here are snippets of other musical performances that took place on the day at the Denham Town Primary School.
Be ready, 'cause time's getting jaded. Just said, don't you worry, I'm in a hurry, Lord, we got to be ready, 'cause time's getting jaded. You're watching Jamaica Magazine.
And that's not all. Our JIS team also captured the Jamaica Day National Celebration at the Monroe College in St. Elizabeth.
We have really been having a day that showcases the best of Jamaica. I often say that irrespective of all the problems that we have as a country, the best of Jamaica is still something that we see being demonstrated every day in our schools, and event like Jamaica Day helps to lay that out and underscore the value of that.
Lively up yourself. Lively up yourself. Lively up yourself. You rock so, you rock so. You dig so, you dig so. You rock so, you rock so. You scan so, you scan so.
And how can we continue to nurture our natural and cultural heritage?
First of all, we need to be planting so that we can have the natural oxygen more in the environment. Also need to take care of our plants.
So we must feel proud of ourselves, proud of our African heritage, proud to be black and beautiful. So whether it is in our clothing, whether it is even in our Creole, even that is something that we have to make sure that as a people we don't feel inferior because we speak Jamaican Creole. It is part of our culture, it is part of our identity.
We cannot celebrate Jamaica if we're not taking care of Jamaica.
Hey there. So, did you know that plastic bags were introduced to supermarkets in 1977? The production of plastic bags are toxic to the environment, as the process involves the use of petroleum, natural gas, and other chemicals. 160,000 plastic bags are used globally every second, and 5 trillion are produced yearly. Side by side, they can encircle the world 7 times. Plastic degrades after 700 years and will only fully degrade in 1,000. This means that all the plastic that has ever been produced has not degraded. It remains toxic even after it breaks down. 13 million metric tons of plastic end up in the ocean every year, and at least 800 species worldwide are affected by marine debris, of which 80% is plastic and is mistaken for food by turtles, fish, and other marine life. Research has shown that fish caught for human consumption contain plastic nanoparticles. An average family will use 60 plastic bags on 4 visits to the supermarket, and only 1 to 3% are recycled worldwide. Play your part in advancing your welfare and that of the earth. Support the ban on plastic. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and get eco-friendly bags for you and your 1877.
As promised, today's program is all about Jamaica. Our next feature is dedicated to a little creature that is indigenous to our island home.
Look, do you see it? Can you tell which bird this is?
There are over 300 species of hummingbirds in the world, and Jamaica has 4 types. Our national bird, the doctor bird, is one of those 4, and it's endemic to the island. That means it's only found right here in Jamaica.
According to sources at the Institute of Jamaica, in 1962, a committee was established to consider the recommendations for the national emblems of the country.
It was at that level that the red-billed streamer-tailed hummingbird, or doctor bird, was chosen to be Jamaica's national bird.
We actually have 2 species of streamer-tails. One is the red-billed streamer-tail, one is the black-billed streamer-tail. The red-billed streamer-tail and the black-billed streamer-tail is considered by some authorities as 2 separate species. Here in Jamaica, we still consider them to be 2 species.
The red-billed streamer-tail can be found across most of the island except the eastern tip, where you'll find the black-billed streamer-tail. Hummingbirds' nests are made from small leafy materials woven together with cobwebs. There are about 2 eggs per clutch or grouping, usually 1 male and 1 female.
Hummingbirds are actually sexually dimorphic. In other words, there are 2 different forms for male and females. The male is actually a lot more flashy.
Jamaicans call the red-billed streamer-tail the doctor bird because of the appearance of the male, with its black crest and 2 iconic tail feathers, resembling the top hat and coat tails of doctors in the past. The male doctor bird also has shimmering green feathers on the chest and back, and a bright red bill with a black tip. The female looks very different because she has a short tail, white chest feathers, and slightly green feathers on the back. The female's bill is also dark brown with red at the base.
You can actually find males without a tail, and there are several reasons for this. One, it could be a young male, right? Born earlier this year, for example, it's going to take a while before those tail feathers actually grow in. And sometimes you'll actually see some with very short tail, which means it's growing in. Another reason they might lack a tail is that they might have molted it. That is, they change their feathers. After the feathers get worn out, they actually drop them and a new set of feathers actually grows in. Sometimes you'll find a male with 1 tail feather. It lost it for one reason or the other. You know, it broke off. They could be fighting with each other and actually lost a tail feather. Hummingbirds, for their size, I mean, they're very tiny birds, but they're probably one of the most aggressive groups of birds in the entire world. The reason for this aggressive behavior is because of food scarcity. They have a group of flowers which they'll visit throughout the day because it takes some time for the nectar to replenish. Sometimes about half an hour, sometimes about an hour or longer. So what they do, they'll feed along a particular route, taking different flowers as they go along. And so once they finish feeding, they'll defend that area until it replenishes.
Hummingbirds flap their wings in a figure-8 motion, allowing them to change direction quickly as well as hover. But they are constantly burning so much energy that they must spend all day looking for food, only taking short rests in the shade.
Hummingbirds are considered nectar feeders, and there was a time when we believed these birds fed only on nectar from flowers. But in more recent times, we realize that they do actually take insects very occasionally, and we suspect it's really just to get some supplemental protein. In terms of the trees and the flowers that the hummingbirds feed on, I would like to highlight that the national tree, the blue maho, is actually one of the favorite flowers of the doctor bird.
You can spot the doctor bird at many of our public gardens across the island. For example, right here at the Blue and John Crow Mountains National Park.
A United Nations educational, scientific and cultural organization, UNESCO World Heritage Site. Look at that color, shimmering emerald green, and those two long tails. Our national bird is certainly a sight to behold.
I love waking up every day in this country. This is where I was born and raised. I have such a passion for my country, and for me, this is home. In Jamaica, a lot of people, they look at just like beach, you know, sea, sand, but our mountains are something to behold. It's majestic up there, and it's a different type of peace. It's a different type of lifestyle completely. I could mention many different places that are amazing, but the one thing I do love about Jamaica as well is that you can find that relaxation, you can find that chill in your backyard. Apart from it being an incredibly beautiful country, an incredibly beautiful island, we have a wonderful, wonderful culture, wonderful, vibrant, colorful people. There is definitely a realness to Jamaica. There's definitely something that no matter what keeps you in touch with reality here. Why come to Jamaica? It all comes back down to Jamaica as a whole. You know, the food, the music, the culture, the people, the climate. Come out and meet us, come out and experience what Jamaica has to offer.
The sun shineth, the land is green, and the people are strong and creative, is the symbolism of our Jamaican flag. Black depicts the strength and creativity of the people. Gold, the natural wealth and beauty of sunlight, and green, hope and agricultural resources. For more details, watch this.
I've traveled all over the world and I've seen the Jamaican flag in so many different countries, and it gives me a sense of pride.
Representing my country and seeing the flag means everything to me. It's an honor playing for the national team.
I've migrated for 19 years and have been living in the US, but there's no greater joy knowing how it has the power to connect us and bring us in the diaspora together.
For me, the Jamaican flag is a language, and it includes me in the conversations.
When the Olympics starts and I see the flag waving, it means a lot to us.
Sunday, August 5, 1962, 2 minutes to midnight, the new flag was about to be hoisted over the National Stadium. The lights were replaced by darkness, as if to expunge the horrid memories of the last 300 years. The red, blue, and white Union Jack did its last wave, and then it was lowered, gently tugged down the flagpole by a representative from the Jamaican militia. It had flown its course a long 307 years, and the replacement was the black, green, and gold, our very own Jamaican flag.
The Jamaican flag was approved by government the 6th of August, 1962. It is important to know that a flag is a symbol which identifies a country. Started on a very sad note. In times of war, people need to identify with a symbol. So where you are standing, you would know that's my side. So the enemy could take away the flag, and then you would be ambushed and then get hurt. But on a joyful and peaceful note, our flag was established in '62 for our symbols. There was a very active competition, and there were many persons who would want to associate with the design, and so an approval was given. Looking at the flag is diagonal in gold, and there are 4 triangles. The top and the bottom green, and the others black.
The gold, represents sunshine, happiness, or people, no matter if we're going through hardship, we're always smiling.
And the green is for our hope and agricultural resources.
And the black, then in '62, means hardships there are. And that was changed by government in 1997 with a committee presided over by Professor the Honorable Rex Nettleford. So it was changed to mean the creativity of the people. The flag has its protocol. It's never to be put on the ground, and it is placed to the right when you're on the platform. Of course, with athletics international competition, you'll notice people are wrapping the flags all over them. Years ago, that was unheard of because it's a solemn signal. When the national anthem is played or sung, you look in the direction of the flag. We are proud of our flag, and wherever we see it, there are some of us who still bow as respect to our dear country.
When I'm overseas and I see the flag, I feel proud because, not every country is at a big tournament. Not everyone will have their flag flying high.
Our flag is so special because it unites our people wherever in the world we are.
When I look down on the flag, it makes me feel proud as a Jamaican to know that I've been able to serve my country.
So yes, the Jamaican flag gives me a voice. We also have deaf athletes going to represent Jamaica in other countries. And when other countries see our flag, they feel proud, and we feel proud as Jamaicans.
The Jamaican flag represents pride to me. The other day someone said we should have a Caribbean flag, and we said we already have one, it's the Jamaican flag.
Jamaican flags, it represents me, it represents you, it represents every Jamaican.
We're no longer subjects of colonialism, directed by the orders of the British, but free citizens of our very own country. O green isle of the Indies, Jamaica, strong and free, our vows and loyal promises, O heartland, 'tis to thee.
Let's get a little breeze on this land. All right. Now let's get some bounce in the rhythm. All right. Let's get some fire on our hearts. Now that is what we call all right. Run, come, get some Jamaica.
And we've arrived at the final page of today's magazine. But don't worry, you can turn the pages with us again tomorrow and every day after. While you wait, visit our website jis.gov.jm for all daily video uploads and news stories. You may also follow us on all social media sites for the latest information on government programs and initiatives. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Go for God Family Church.
Today's message is for those of you who thought that Jesus was finished.
Inspiring messages.
I'm here to tell you today that you are excellent. God is excellent.
Empowerment from biblical motivation.
To be glorified means to endow with authority. A woman is a powerful, creative being.
Join Pastor Christopher Morgan and the Go for God team as we go for God.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Kaleidoscope Paints celebrated its official relaunch in Jamaica at the Crew Bar in Kingston, and Business Access TV was there to bring you all the highlights. Stay tuned.
To the management team from KPL Group, the parent company for Kaleidoscope Paints Trinidad, Mr. Mahindra Deval Singh, the export manager, and I'll also take the opportunity to extend the sincerest apologies on behalf of Dale Parson, the CEO of KPL Group. He could not be here, but of course, he certainly hopes that everyone has a fantastic launch. To the reps from Matalon Distributors, in particular, Andrew Matalon, CEO, Nicole Masters, the marketing manager, the management team from Matalon Homes, the management team from Tankweld, specially invited guests from the real estate, the building, and the construction industry. I also noticed that we have some interior decorators here as well. Friends of the media, all. Good afternoon. My name is Terry Carroll, and I have the pleasure of being your host this afternoon for the Kaleidoscope Paints Limited media launch. And I'll be very honest with you, it's not just another Sunday, and we're not just launching another product. But thank you so very much for being here. Now, the reason why this is very timely, and the reason why this launch is very relevant is because, one, Jamaicans like to spruce up them place, especially at Christmas time. Everyone knows this. Even if you weren't planning on painting, once you start to see the festivities and the vibrancy, you say, all right, you have to at least spruce up some area in your place. Number two, we have seen the development that is taking place in Jamaica. On every corner, on every street, we see the development, the construction industry doing very well, which means that wherever we have building construction, we clearly need paint. And another thing that makes this so beautiful is because Jamaicans, we are known for supporting and loving family-owned businesses. And this is one of them. Now, for those of you who may not know, Kaleidoscope is a top quality paint that will sell itself once customers start to use it. They're celebrating over 48 years of being a leader, not just in the Caribbean, but in South America. The person who is probably best to speak about this product is Mr. Mahindra Deval Singh, and I hope I pronounced your name correctly, the export manager from the KPL Group. Please make him welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be here to help to reintroduce Kaleidoscope Paints to the Jamaica market. This really feels like we are coming back home, as we were strong players in this market for about 6 years, but exited when our distributors at the time, Facey Commodity, changed ownership from the Matalon Group. So it's more than fortuitous that we are back with the Matalons, with whom we have had so much success in the past. Both our companies share similar values and hold our corporate family culture close to our strategic alliances. We believe that our partnership with Matalon Distributors could not have come at a more opportune time, as it will allow us to effectively represent our brand with an organization that is well respected and long established in Jamaica. This alliance with Matalon Distributors has also created an avenue for for us to share our technology with the Tankwell Metals Group, of which Matalon Distributors is a subsidiary. And on behalf of the KPL board in Trinidad, I have to say a special thank you to Mr. Peter Matalon and to Mr. Chris Bicknell, Group CEO and Chairman of Tankwell Metals, for giving us this opportunity. Today is a launchpad for the re-establishment of the KPL Group through our high-quality products as a household name in Jamaica. This year, Kaleidoscope Paints celebrates 48 years of being a leader in the Caribbean paints industry. Our mission is to be recognized as a world-class family-owned company in the Caribbean and South America, recognized for manufacturing high-quality products and services while providing personalized business relationships, customer satisfaction, employee motivation, and shareholders' value. Our core values emanate from our mission and is entwined in our business operations. We are family-oriented and seek to cultivate partnerships with our customers as opposed to mere business transactions. KPL's brand is well established throughout the CARICOM territories and some South American countries. 4 decades of Kaleidoscope's history have taught us what's important to our customers. We have not only responded to their need for beauty, color, performance, and durability, we keep surpassing expectations with new, innovative, and high-quality products that continue to be winners. In technical evaluations against top leading competitors, over the past 5 years, Kaleidoscope has been the standout winner in the following categories, which are key essentials for the Caribbean consumers and contractors. We are the best in whiteness, most brilliant white, the whitest white. Opacity, best coverage, ability, and obliteration properties. Gloss, highest sheen. Scrubbability, which is durability, longevity, power to withstand exposure to the Caribbean elements. Viscosity and alkalinity, rated #1. But that's in Trinidad, and Trinidad is half the population of that of Jamaica. And we hope that our renewed presence in the Jamaica market can contribute towards propelling our brand to even greater heights. We will be bringing to you in Jamaica our best-in-class, quality, price, and multi-products in paints and finishes. Because if you need to paint it, we can cover it. We are so excited to be back in Jamaica, and thank you so much for being here today. I thank you all.
Thank you for that. As I was listening to him, he spoke about beauty, color, performance, durability, and the fact that they listen to their customers, they have good relationships with them, they adjust, they innovate, and of course, they deliver. So we welcome you with open arms to Jamaica and to the Jamaican market once more. Now, whenever I hear about Matalons, I think rich. Real tanta rich. In terms of quality, professionalism, customer service, and what they do. From Matalon Homes to Matalon Roofing to Matalon Distributors, they are everywhere, and they've done very well and expanded very well because what they do is they deliver quality. Therefore, as the distributors of Kaleidoscope Paints, it makes sense for me to introduce Andrew Matalon, who is going to bring the key message this afternoon. Please make him welcome.
Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us on this special occasion, the launch, or should I say, the relaunch of Kaleidoscope Paints here in Jamaica. We actually have a history with Kaleidoscope Paints. When our family-owned Facey Commodity, we were the local distributors of the brand in Jamaica. So when they decided to come back to the country, it was a natural that they also came home to us, so to speak. A new alliance with Matalon Distributors has been forged. We are certain that as soon as Jamaicans are reintroduced to the top quality Kaleidoscope Paint brand, they will fall in love once again. Kaleidoscope Paints is a household name in Trinidad and Tobago, where they were founded over 40 years ago. Today, they have spread their brand to cover 15 Caribbean countries. They pride themselves on being leaders in the paints and coatings field by constantly innovating, continuously improving their quality, and always giving the customers what they need, which are beautiful paint colors with exquisite finishes and time-tested durability. These claims are not made without warrant. The technical evaluations shows that this is who they are. Over the past 5 years, Kaleidoscope has come out on top against the other leading competitors as #1 in whiteness, opacity, gloss, scrubbability, viscosity, and alkalinity. The brand is renowned for its wide range of vibrant colors, best coverage, top qualities of paints, stains, varnishes, and other finishes for the home, industrial, marine, and automotive sectors. From contractor to the household painter, together we have the brand that offers you the best value by far. Since we are in the midst of a construction boom, this is an opportune time for Kaleidoscope to be re-entering the Jamaican market. From residential and commercial developments to hotels, the new face of Jamaica is under construction, and that is evident everywhere that you look. We don't expect this boom to slow down anytime soon, and that's why we at Madelon Distributors plan to be an integral player with Kaleidoscope Paints in coloring and covering it all. We are so confident in this brand that we decided to pave the way ourselves. Kaleidoscope Paint will be on all future Madelon Homes projects, which are known for our high quality finishes and designs. We feel this is a statement which shows our customers that we practice what we preach. The future is certainly bright and colorful with Kaleidoscope Paints and Madelon Distributors. Over the next year, we are planning to employ at least 20 members of staff to grow alongside the brand. We see the scope of our partnership allowing for us to take on the manufacturing of the paints here at our head office here in Jamaica. We look forward to the future and a long-lasting relationship with Dale and the rest of the Kaleidoscope team. So again, thank you for coming, and let's begin to paint Jamaica in a kaleidoscope of colors.
Very well said. The future is colorful and bright, and again, he brought home the point that there is a construction boom, and certainly practicing what you preach sends a very clear message to customers. So I look forward to seeing what the future Madelon Homes look like, and with the colors covering all of the walls. He says that this is the best value by far, and I think when I looked at your swatches, I believe I'm really in love with Cool Olive. I think that color definitely caught my eye. On behalf of all of us here, we thank you for coming back home, of course, associating and aligning with Madelon Distributors, and we wish you all the best in the Jamaican market. Have a great week ahead. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
On the next episode of Weekend Business Report, human trafficking ring busted. Trinidad and Tobago police rescue Venezuelan girls forced into prostitution. That plus company news, the top business stories, and the latest stock market numbers from around the world. That's Weekend Business Report with me, Keneal Gale, this Saturday and Sunday.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show, and Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV, serious about business.
We're taking you beyond our shores, across the region and around the world. Every week, BATV gives you in-depth reporting on the major stories that gripped headlines in the Caribbean and on the international scene. Join us Sundays for This Week Abroad. Business Access TV, serious about business at home and abroad.
Kaleidoscope Paints is relaunching here in Jamaica. What's the significance of you guys coming back to Jamaica?
Well, what happened back in the 80s and 90s when we were with Facey Commodity, we did quite well in this market. The paints, the product, the brand name was well accepted. It took us a while, but what happened is we got an opportunity to go back or to come back again into the market with the Matalan family business. We realized that a lot of people do recognize the name from back then. Everybody knows Facey Commodity was a strong company then, and we are extremely happy to actually come back with the very Matalan group, Tanquils Metals Limited. Strong, long-established companies in Jamaica, similar to Kaleidoscope Paints in Trinidad. We share similar values, and we found, hey, this looks like a good partnership. Let's do it, and this is what we are doing, really.
As you mentioned, Kaleidoscope Paints is based in Trinidad. Talk to us a little bit about Kaleidoscope Paints. You've been around for almost 50 years. Just give us a brief overview of the company. Okay, sure. So Kaleidoscope Paints was founded by the late Stephen Parson. Mr. Parson, history was working in the paint industry in Trinidad. He initially worked with a company called British Paints, which of course was an English company. British Paints was bought over by Berger Paints somewhere back in the 60s. When that happened, Mr. Parson was a pretty senior executive up to that time, and what he decided then was it was time for him to go and form his own paint company, because he had a long number of years and great experience with the British Paints company in particular. So that gave rise to, in 1972, Kaleidoscope Paints Limited became a registered company. They started manufacturing, and it has been a long road full of challenges, but also full of triumphs. The brand name is now a household name in Trinidad and the CARICOM region generally. We sell to a few markets in the Latin American and South American countries. It is our intention to take the brand international by moving out firstly to the other Spanish-speaking territories in the Caribbean. And Jamaica, not being in Jamaica, having been in Jamaica before, it was a natural step that we must re-establish our ties in the Jamaican economy before we attempt to stretch ourselves further. What makes Kaleidoscope Paints a standout brand on the market?
Their quality and engineering that they go through regularly. They're tested and rated for a whole host of different awards against top competitors. They've made a name for themselves throughout the Caribbean, and in Jamaica is going to be their next big step.
Matalan Distributors is the official distributor of Kaleidoscope Paints here in Jamaica. What's the significance of the brand coming back to Jamaica?
Kaleidoscope Paints is known for their quality, high-end products, which is something that is associated with all of the products that we currently distribute, such as roofing, our housing developments on the Matalan Home side. Kaleidoscope falls into place with all of the stuff that we do right now.
And what can consumers expect from Kaleidoscope Paints?
We're coming here, and we're going to be here for the long run. We're coming big. The quality, everything that they have, the product speaks for itself. There's no doubt in that. We've tested it, we've gone through all of that, and we're actually using it on all of our Matalan Homes developments. That in itself is a statement, because we're known for high quality, high-end residential developments. So the fact that we're using it, we practice what we preach.
Kaleidoscope Paints has officially launched today. What are you most excited about being here in Jamaica?
I'm most excited that, one, it's a family-owned company, and because it's a family-owned company, we basically look to family values. So we look at the impact of when people are owning a home and how dear their home is to them. So we look at quality, we look at affordability, we look at scent, everything that goes into painting.
We know there are several paint brands on the market, but what makes you stand out the most?
We have variety and we have affordability. And I think that is the most important thing. And we are accessible. You know, sometimes some companies get so big, you know, their customers are oftentimes alienated, but that's not the case. We go directly to our consumers and they can expect that from Kaleidoscope at all times.
Do you have anything that people can look forward to in terms of getting the brand out there?
Of course, we'll constantly be doing promotions. We will be doing a lot of charity events. We really want people to benefit, the Jamaican people to benefit from this product in all aspects.
What's your take on the brand so far?
Actually, I'm very excited. I'm happy to see that they're back in Jamaica. I'm excited to sample a few of their products. I'm actually very excited because they spoke to the fact that they've won awards for durability and scrubbability. The whitest white. I'm looking forward to actually trying their white colors because, you know, white and bright is kind of very popular now. So I'm actually looking forward to that. And then the colors that based on what I'm seeing, are actually quite beautiful. Very tropical almost, but subtle. So very excited.
As an interior decorator, from your stance, how do you think Jamaicans will accept this brand, basically?
I think they will. I think they'll accept it. As decorators, it's our responsibility to actually push the product. It's from the region, so that's very good. I really like to support and build local, and by local, I mean the local region, at least in this case. So I think they will. The colors are beautiful. I can't imagine that people won't love the colors. I think they'll do really well because they actually really have some very, very nice colors. Yeah.
What are some of your favorite colors that you've seen so far?
I actually love Regatta Blue. I love Cool Olive. And there's Icicle and Spice. Oh my gosh, and there's one other beautiful Blossom. Blossom and Clay Pot are also some beautiful colors. Yeah.
We came together with Matalon Roofing to distribute paints within Jamaica. We formed the company Matalon Distributors, which will be distributing paints island-wide. And it's a wonderful opportunity for the Jamaican market, as it's another opportunity for them to diversify in terms of different products from another company. There are several paint companies locally, however, we're not worried about that, however, because Tankwell is a successful company in Jamaica, as well as Matalon Roofing rather, and Matalon Homes. And this partnership together, I believe, will do very well in Jamaica, as Matalon and Tankwell are household names, and Kaleidoscope was here before, and it came back in the island, and I believe that it's going to be another big thing for Tankwell, as we are launching out into other areas. We are now in trucking. We sell a wide range of hardware products island-wide. So this is a great opportunity with all the different developments that are taking place island-wide in terms of housing and in terms of hotels and so on. So it's a great opportunity for the island to have another company that is going to have competitive prices and brilliant colors and great quality and great service. And that's what we are here to do.
Thanks for tuning in to the official relaunch of Kaleidoscope Paint in Jamaica. You're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
The Caribbean is a rich biodiversity hotspot. It has over 11,000 plant species, and about 72 of these are found only in this region. This richness also extends to the Caribbean people. Their traditional knowledge of the region's varied natural resources has integrated nature into the economic and health sectors worldwide. It has also drawn many to research and use the region's biodiversity for medicinal, cosmetic, and pharmaceutical purposes. For example, the glaucoma medication Canasol is made from cannabis. However, Caribbean islands have fallen prey to biopiracy, where a country's resources are accessed and developed commercially, but the country gets little or no benefit from it. As the world benefits from the Caribbean's biodiversity, countries need to be compensated for their commercial use. Lawmakers need to ensure that their countries are legally prepared to give access to and benefits from commercial use of genetic resources. To ensure prior informed consent and mutually agreed terms of access established by the Nagoya Protocol, the Global Environment Facility, GEF, United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, and the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, IUCN, are jointly providing support to countries at different levels in order to advance towards functional access and benefit sharing. Under the Nagoya Protocol, countries from which natural resources are obtained for commercial developments are entitled to compensation. It also ensures indigenous knowledge from groups such as the Maroons, Rastafarians, and Amerindians can be credited and compensated if their traditional knowledge has been used for commercial purposes. Caribbean islands are putting the Nagoya Protocol in their legislative framework to safeguard their country's biodiversity and traditional knowledge. Let us all work together to protect our resources, do valuable research, and reap the benefits of sustainable bioprospecting in the region.
Now presenting the Jamaica Social Investment Fund ICDP Enterprise Development Project. Entrepreneurial Grant Business Pitch.
This project is a $100 million grant that's seeking to target 50 small and micro business enterprises and give them training, capacity development, equipment, permits and license towards the development and the viability of their business. We have made a call for proposal in March of this year for entrepreneurs to submit for the opportunity to receive a grant between $1 and $5 million. We received more than 500 applications, and so we have now shortlisted them to 100. So we've invited that top 100 applicants here today, and they're going to have to pitch their business idea to a panel, and of the 150 will actually transpire and win the opportunity for the grants. One of the primary objectives of what we're doing here is employment. We want the business to be able to sustain not only the principals as the owners, but we also want the business to be able to employ at least 2 people. The next part of it, as we do in all of our projects like this, is it provides a learning instrument of how we can engage small and micro enterprises and take them to the next level.
Why we're doing this rigorous process, because we want to identify the best potential entrepreneurs to fund for this project. And keep in mind that we are speaking about a loan, so we want to ensure that the applicants are committed, and that from a sustainability point of view, that upon receiving the support from JSIP, that in 2 or 3 years, the enterprises will still be operational and the broader objective of the project would be achieved. Once we have now equipped them and they should be ready to start their production line going, we'll then have a mentorship component.
It has been a very competitive process. Jamaica is filled with persons with drive and passion. We're expecting that the best will be selected, and then for those who are not successful, we are also hoping to link them to other providers of services, because I'm telling you today, from what I've seen, it is an excellent, excellent, excellent opportunity. It's worthy of note that many persons coming here today already have some kind of semblance of a business, but they need the additional support to move that business to the other level, as well as some persons that are coming with those proposals to start from scratch. On behalf of the JSIF, we want to really thank the DBJ and other partners from UWI who came to be part of the panel, and just to remind you that the JSIF is here and we're investing for community development.
Our women are the backbone of our society. They deserve to be protected and respected. Domestic violence is not okay. Speak up and speak out. No more violence against women.
Busted! Trinidad and Tobago police breaks up human trafficking ring. Weekend Business Report starts right now. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Kenil Gale. Thanks so much for joining us this week. Several Venezuelan girls were rescued this week after they were forced into prostitution in Trinidad and Tobago. We're getting an update on that in a bit, but right now let's get to some of the week's top stories from the BATV News Desk. The Bank of Jamaica sold another $30 million during a flash auction on Monday. This was the third time in as many weeks that the central bank has had to intervene in the foreign exchange market. Jamila Maitland tells us more.
The central bank says there's been a higher demand for the US dollars since the start of the year. The demand has caused a significant slippage in the exchange rate, with the local dollar depreciating by nearly 7% since the start of the year. Central Bank Governor Brian Winter says this is because there's a larger capital transaction in the market.
Bank of Jamaica intervened last Friday to sell $30 million to the market in a BFIXit flash operation. And the bank added another $30 million to the market in another flash operation this morning. We're aware that the concentration of large capital market transactions that we are seeing is by its nature temporary and will pass. But although the pressure on the foreign exchange market is therefore temporary and also will pass, we should understand that episodes like these do happen in markets from time to time, especially in markets like ours that are in the process of transformation.
The Jamaican dollar started the year selling for an average of $128.50 to the US, but ended trading on Friday at $137.06 to the US. The opposition PMP has said this rise is considerably high and fast, given that it's the height of the tourist season when the US dollar should have been widely available as tourists spend in the local economy. But the governor says there's no shortage in the US dollar.
Let me repeat, the flows of foreign exchange into the country have not slowed down. The effect on the foreign exchange market that we've been seeing is because there has been a higher demand for those US dollars, as investors and businesses are demanding more. As I said, this is a good sign for the economy.
Meanwhile, President of the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, Dr. Warren Smith, says Jamaicans shouldn't panic about the fluctuations in the Jamaican dollar. This as the price of the US dollar approached a record high earlier this week. However, he says the Bank of Jamaica might need to consider more timely interventions. BATV's Kalila Reynolds sat down for a wide-ranging interview with Dr. Smith following the CDB's annual press conference in Barbados Thursday morning.
We shouldn't really panic the way in which we do. We need to look at the reserves that exist in the central bank. And in particular, the central bank is now providing information as to what are, as they call it, earned reserves. In other words, these are not just foreign exchange reserves that come from borrowings, but there are earned reserves there. And that is that's a good indication of the transformation that's taking place in the economy.
However, he says the BOJ might need to respond more rapidly to dramatic increases in demand.
I understand the the panic that sometimes develops, but I think that we need to give it some time. I think sometimes the central bank needs to respond perhaps a little bit more rapidly, but I'm not going to speak for my colleagues in the central bank. You know, they know their jobs very well. But bottom line, I don't think it's a problem, and I don't think it is going to be a problem in the future.
In the meantime, Dr. Smith says he's confident that whatever the political outcome in Venezuela, the troubled South American country's relationship with the CDB and the region will remain strong. Venezuela is a shareholder and contributor to the CDB.
Venezuela has been a very, very faithful member of the Caribbean Development Bank. If my memory serves me correctly, they were one of the early shareholders in CDB, and they have faithfully contributed to the resources of this institution. They still have funds here with CDB.
They continue to contribute?
Well, at the times when we go to our shareholders for funding, yes. Venezuela has always taken up their responsibility, so that they are in good standing as far as CDB is concerned. And we expect that that will continue regardless of what unfolds in Venezuela.
However, he says he doesn't believe the Petrocaribe agreement is likely to continue. On the Petrocaribe, Caribbean countries were able to defer payment for oil from Venezuela for lengthy periods and at a very low interest rate. But that arrangement has largely stalled as oil production in Venezuela plummeted over the past 2 years.
I'm not sure that Petrocaribe has much of a future going forward, especially as the region starts to focus more on the development of renewables. The issue surrounding Petrojam is in part the consequence of Jamaica moving now to a situation where they're replacing heavy fuel oil with LNG, right? And that represents a big chunk of the production of the Petrojam refinery. So that refinery needs to be transformed, it needs to be modernized, otherwise it's not going to be feasible.
Moving on now, it's being described as a major sex trafficking operation. The Trinidad and Tobago police made a breakthrough in an ongoing investigation earlier this week when it moved in on several locations, arresting several men and rescuing 19 Venezuelan females. The underage women were found locked away at a popular Chinese restaurant along Aripita Avenue. CNC3's Mark Bassant has the details.
19 South American young ladies locked in rooms at Stir Fried King restaurant along Aripita Avenue in Port of Spain, as well as in homes in Circle Drive, West Moorings, and the Mont Coco Road in Diego Martin, were rescued by police officers close to 2 o'clock this morning. 10 men of Asian descent were also detained during the exercise conducted by SORT, Counter-Trafficking Unit, the Child Protection Unit, and the Financial Intelligence Branch. Commissioner Gary Griffith described it as a significant breakthrough in an illicit world of sex and drugs.
We have been instrumental in what may very well be cracking a major ring in Trinidad and Tobago in the involvement of the illegal immigration of young ladies. It also involves prostitution and all other aspects of human trafficking.
Commissioner Griffith said most of these young women were held in captivity and possibly victims of a sex ring.
Most of them 15 and 16 years old that were actually held against their will. They were basically slaves. They were released, rescued by the Special Operation Response Team last night. As I said, 19 of them, most of them 15 and 16 years old, being used as prostitutes by certain individuals.
Director of the Counter-Trafficking Unit, Alana Wheeler, said they were working closely with the young women and asked anyone with information about women facing similar circumstances to reach out.
We are currently in the process of screening them with interpreters to determine whether they are victims of trafficking or not. As the Commissioner said, they are minors and there are also young, very young adult females. And we are asking the public and appealing to the public, please, if you identify any suspected young women, particularly foreign migrants who are in places that they ought not to be, please refer them to the relevant agencies.
ASP Lucas of the Financial Intelligence Branch said this was a lucrative business, that homeowners needed to be cognizant of the people interested in leasing or renting their properties.
There's a lot of money involved
As the Commissioner indicated, these young ladies have been brought into a ring of prostitution, and the evidence so far suggests that these ladies were placed in several places, several locations in Trinidad and Tobago, in properties that were leased from landowners. So this is a call to all the landowners as well and property owners to be mindful of the persons who you are leasing your property to. Have some idea as to what is going to be taking place at your property.
When CNC3 visited Stir Fry King restaurant this morning, the place was shut tight. Police also conducted similar exercises in East Trinidad at a Chinese restaurant in Currap. Mark Besant, CNC3.
Thanks for that, Mark. Joining us now to give us a quick update on the situation in Trinidad and Tobago is journalist Ian Wason. Ian, thanks so much for joining us here on Weekend Business Report. Let's start with the latest on this specific case. What can you tell us?
Well, with this specific case, the Minister of National Security, during the weekly post-cabinet media briefing, he indicated that the girls who were rescued in the business place in Port of Spain, they have been taken in for questioning, and it's really to assist them, because remember, they are victims, so they are not treated like criminals. They are assisted by the Trinidad and Tobago government, just to ascertain how they got here and things like that. But because of the nature of the incident, not much information has been divulged.
Have any arrests or charges been laid against anyone?
There were a number of arrests, but I'm not sure of the amount. A lot of them were, in fact, they were foreign nationals, in fact. I don't think any local nationals have been involved just yet.
Are instances of forced prostitution and human trafficking common in Trinidad and Tobago?
It is common, but what it is, it's not as widely known. A lot of underground stuff at the lower level, people would hear, people would shoo and things like that, but it's not really out in the open. This could be the first big case, or the first big instance of human trafficking. And a lot of different infomercials coming from the government talking about that, and looking for us to help us to look at signs, to observe signs and pick up signs of persons who may be involved. So it's there, we know it's there, but it's just putting our hands on it and actually catching persons. I think this could be the first big instance. There are a lot of instances where people have been missing. Some persons have been missing for a couple of years, haven't been found. So there are a lot of allegations about different reasons why people would have been missing. And of course, human trafficking, that conversation would have popped up in the past.
Just a few days ago, some Venezuelans staged a protest outside Parliament demanding better treatment from Trinidad's immigration department. Now, what's the general reaction in Trinidad to Venezuelans who are seeking refuge?
It's mixed. It's mixed. We have some Trinidadians saying, yes, we are in a position to help. Some are saying, no, we are barely in a position to help ourselves. And what has made things worse, a couple of weeks ago, or less than a couple of weeks ago, some fishermen in South Trinidad were kidnapped by Venezuelans. So a lot of people, you would understand why the feeling will be mixed. Some people say yes, some people say no, help them, don't help them, they are causing trouble, they are not causing trouble, so it's really mixed.
Thanks so much for updating us, Ian. We definitely will be staying on top of this story. Thanks again for joining us. Company news comes up next, then later, bringing your dead pet back to life. Well, kinda. We'll explain in the final segment of the show, so stick around to find out.
There's something new and amazing that Mommy buys called Surge Lactose-Free Cow's Milk. It's real milk that's easy on my tummy and tastes really yummy. This means everyone can enjoy real milk now. Mommy says with lactose-free milk, she lives worry-free. There's 1% for Mommy and Daddy, full cream for me. Look at milk now.
Introducing Surge lactose-free cow's milk. Enjoy real milk. Available island-wide.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show. And Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Welcome back to Weekend Business Report. Here's this week's company news.
iCreate's initial public offering IPO closed early after being oversubscribed in less than 48 hours. It was scheduled to close on February 14, but lead broker Sagicor Investments says there was a greater demand for shares than what the company had to offer. The company hoped to raise almost $70 million from going public. iCreate says it will use the money to expand its physical infrastructure in Kingston and Montego Bay, purchase additional equipment, computers and software to develop courses, implement new training courses, and expand regionally and internationally. Burita Investments ended 2018 as the best performing stock on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. An excellent October to December quarter contributed to this as the company saw a 380% increase in net profits compared to the previous year. Net profits increased a whopping 379.7% compared to the similar period in the previous year. That's $180 million compared to the $38 million recorded in the previous year. The company managed to amass this significant gain despite the impact of the foreign currency translation losses, which totaled almost $180 million. Meanwhile, Burita Investments says as the year progresses, they're looking forward to low interest rates and a strong equities market. Lasco Distributors Limited is reporting $621 million in net profit for the third quarter, which ended December 31, 2018. That's a 16% increase, which the company says was due largely to increased sales across the pharmaceutical and consumer lines. Lasco Distributors says its third quarter performance reflects a strong period over period that saw consecutive revenue growth, which closed at $13.3 billion, or nearly 9% more than the 9 months ending December 31, 2017. The company attributed its financial performance to success in key areas including distribution of liquid, powdered beverages, and distribution of new products to the pharmaceutical market. The company says it is also still pleased with the ongoing successful execution of its growth strategies, which has assisted in improvements to its bottom line.
Let's now take a look at how some of the major global stock markets ended the week. When we come back, more of the week's top stories from the BATV News Desk, so stay with us.
Adam and Eve Day Spa and Salon plans to indulge you this Valentine's Day. Ah yes, drift away, cocoon your body in rich chocolatey goodness, add a massage or a facial in our executive suite. Try out our rainforest water massage to ignite your experience. Do your hair or a couple's mani-pedi. Treat your taste buds to succulent chocolate treats. Come, be pampered. Call us at 754-6018 or visit us at 20 Tobago Avenue, New Kingston. Give the gift of love. Give Adam and Eve. Gift certificates available.
Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Welcome back to Weekend Business Report. $9.2 million. That's the separation package embattled Petrojam Human Resource Manager Yolande Ramarak received when she was forced to leave the scandal-hit state-run entity a few months ago. Jamila Maitland tells us more.
Parliament's Public Accounts Committee took an unusual format today after Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Sansia Bennett-Templer, refused to provide the settlement amount for Petrojam's former Human Resource Manager and the General Manager who resigned from the company following countless reports of mismanagement at the oil refinery. PAC members had to pause the meeting to have the sum disclosed to them in a private chamber. This came after more than half hour of back and forth about whether or not the settlement of the two former managers could be done in public. Mrs. Bennett-Templer said she was advised by the Attorney General not to discuss the matter publicly. But that advice was quickly challenged by PAC members, including government PAC member Everald Warmington.
The Parliament asks you a simple question. You do not refuse to answer Parliament. And we are not going in camera for that answer. I'm asking you a question. Was there a compensation settlement? Is yes or no? It is yes. I'm losing my patience. I'm on this committee since 1980. And I've never come across something like this. I have never witnessed this type of contempt and insult to members of this committee. I ask you a simple question. Don't tell me about legal advice because you are getting incorrect legal advice.
Former Petrojam Human Resource Manager Yolande Ramarak received $9.2 million in gross separation payment from Petrojam. The embattled Human Resource Manager was hired without the necessary qualifications, received a questionable $12.2 million compensation package, hired her sibling even though he was not qualified for the job, a clear breach in policy, and has had several instances of mismanagement at the oil refinery. PAC members questioned how a settlement could have been made when the matter was still being deliberated.
In setting the hearing dates, it's her lawyer being available and our legal counsel as well. What we realized that this thing was extending into 6 months and possibly even going longer. And then at the same time, we had a business to run that was not able to function. It was just too many conflicts taking place. And that was a big part of the decision in how we decided to terminate the hearing.
Parliamentarians from the opposition People's National Party took Prime Minister Andrew Holness to task during Tuesday's parliamentary sitting after they learnt about the $9.2 million separation package for Petrojam's former Human Resource Manager Yolande Ramarak. The Prime Minister, who tried defending this settlement, was criticized by opposition parliamentarians who claim Ms. Ramarak did not deserve so much money. More in this report.
A golden handshake. That's what opposition parliamentarians are calling the more than $9 million settlement package Petrojam's former Human Resource Manager Yolande Ramarak received. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who now heads the Energy Ministry under which Petrojam falls, was tight-lipped about the details of the settlement. He said he was being guided by legal advice surrounding Ms. Ramarak's contract. However, opposition Member of Parliament Julian Robinson argued that the figure needs to be explained.
Why was there a non-disclosure agreement with this particular manager for HRD if the general manager has none, and as far as you know, no other manager in the entity has one? What is so special about this person, someone who came in without qualifications, salary bump up in 3 months, hire a brother, breach all kind of things as laid out here, and she's given a golden handshake to leave? $9 million? It's scandalous under your watch. This is not former Minister Wheatley, this is you.
Prime Minister Holness said the former HR manager was still a member of staff during the deliberations, while the former general manager Floyd Grindley was not. Mr. Holness said he signed off on the settlement after seeing the cost-benefit analysis from continuing deliberations. He said that amounted to some $25 million.
Just to have that process of reviewing the charges, $4 million. The legal charges to Petrojam was estimated at $1.5 million. Sundry costs for hosting and so forth. And then, of course, during the period of this process of determining the charges, you would still have to pay the employee in question.
Opposition spokesman on finance Mark Golding claimed otherwise.
under your watch, a settlement was arrived with her and she was paid $9.2 million to leave. A total of $32 million she earned from her less than 2 years of employment. And you juxtapose that with her predecessor, who was dismissed on Christmas Eve, where no one has said she did anything wrong. She was more than qualified for the job, and she was summarily dismissed on Christmas Eve. No one was concerned about liabilities to the company for that. The juxtaposition just doesn't wash, Prime Minister. Doesn't wash.
And Prime Minister Andrew Holness officially broke ground on Wednesday in Coral Spring, Trelawney for the new $34 billion Jamaican dollar investment from Spanish hotel chain H10. Construction is already underway by the hotel chain to build some 1,000 new rooms. The hotel, which is expected to complete 500 rooms by the end of the year, will be called Ocean Coral Spring. Here's more.
Prime Minister Holness says the H10 development will bring jobs to Trelawney, which will facilitate the inclusive growth the administration seeks.
In a few months, we will have a new resort here of 1,000 rooms. But more importantly, we will have more than 1,000 workers. That means that we would have assisted more than 1,000 households in lifting themselves out of poverty. And that is the shared benefit of investments. That is what we mean when we say we believe in inclusive growth and prosperity.
The Prime Minister assured the Spanish investors that their investment in Jamaica is safe.
This government has created a fiscal environment that is certain. You know, when you make your investments here, you are not at risk of unexpected and unplanned taxes. You can be certain that you will have a macroeconomic environment that is stable.
When we come back, the business of dog cloning in South Korea. More on that after the break.
The Nissan X-Trail with all-mode eye technologies. No matter what the road throws at you, your story starts here.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show. And Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
The attachment to their pet is too strong to let go of, even after they're dead. In South Korea, though, one clinic is fulfilling the dreams of pet owners who want to keep their best friend alive forever. Here's more.
You can order 3, a 6-pack, or even 10 of your departed pet. In South Korea, at least, death is no longer the end. For bereaved owners like Kevin Kinji, the copied canines are almost as good as the original. His Pekingese puppy is just a few weeks old. He says it's his old dog reborn.
15 years old. You see the marks? I think it's the same dog. In my mind, I feel like it's the same dog.
One more success for Seoul's SOAM Biotech Research Foundation. Bioengineers here have cloned more than 1,000 dogs for customers all over the world.
A lot of people know that it might not be the exact same dog. Some people think it's the puppies that the original dog never had, or some of the other people think that it's an identical twin.
South Korean scientists created the world's first clone dog in 2005. Today, the procedure has become routine and very lucrative. The clinic charges 88,000 euros per puppy, implanted and born by a surrogate mother. It's not just private pet owners showing interest. The security industry sees a way to replicate their best sniffer dogs. With the help of cloning, they can fast-track their breeding and training process.
At this young age, dogs have an average 30% success rate, but this clone dog has an 80% success rate.
Critics question the ethics of cloning, which they say turns living beings into reproductive machines. For wealthy owners, it's a small price to bring their beloved pets back to life.
And that's our show for this week. On behalf of the entire Weekend Business Report team, I'm Keneal. See you next time.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
I'm Adam Strud. This is Business Access TV, serious about business.
Hey guys, it's your girl Candy welcoming you to another episode of Chill Spot, where we'll be featuring your neighborhood Bashko guy, Omar Azan. So stay with us, much more after this. Hey guys, so we've just arrived at Omar's family residence, where we're about to head inside to meet everyone. But before we do, here are a few quick facts about Omar Azan. Firstly, he is the marketing and public relations manager at Bashko, the store that gives you more. He's also a musician. He plays the trumpet, percussion, and he also sings. Thirdly, he was born and raised in Barbados. So with no further ado, let's meet Omar Azan.
Hey, Candy, welcome.
Nice to finally meet you.
Welcome to my family's home.
I'm excited. So what do you have planned for us today?
Well, we're having a barbecue, and we do this pretty often. We have our barbecues, like we're always looking for an excuse. Somebody's birthday, have a barbecue. Somebody had baby, have a barbecue. The rain not falling, have a barbecue. So that's why we're here.
So we're having burgers and
hot dogs, and we have some chicken, and my mom made her amazing macaroni pie, and there's desserts.
Is she Trini?
No, my mom is actually Bajan.
Oh, okay,
right?
Trini, okay.
Macaroni pie, yes, same kind of concept. It's going to be interesting.
All right, well, with no further ado, let's go.
So while you're here, we have food. Come. Hello.
Hi, ladies.
Candy, this is my wife Danielle.
Hi, Danielle. Nice to meet you.
And this is Heather. She is
Heather.
my media and events assistant. So, Asher. And this is Asher.
Hi, Asher. Hi.
You want to go down?
High five.
Give her a high five.
Please. Yes.
All right. Oh, there's Panda. Go get him. And over here, we have Aaliyah, who is my friend.
Hi, Aaliyah.
And my bodyguard. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. And here we have Athoy, who
Hi,
is my
Athoy.
marketing assistant. And over there, on the ground, my extremely good friend and audio marketing coordinator, Andrew Thompson, and his boys.
Hi, Andrew. Hi, boys. Daddy time.
Daddy time.
Coming up, how would you encourage other young professionals who are starting out in this industry or even otherwise?
You're not going to like my answer, you know.
Adam and Eve Day Spa and Salon plans to indulge you this Valentine's Day. Ah yes, drift away, cocoon your body in rich chocolatey goodness, add a massage or a facial in our executive suite. Try out our rainforest water massage to ignite your experience. Do your hair or a couple's mani-pedi. Treat your taste buds to succulent chocolate treats. Come, be pampered. Call us at 754-6018 or visit us at 20 Tobago Avenue, New Kingston. Give the gift of love. Give Adam and Eve. Gift certificates available.
Go for God Family Church.
Today's message is for those of you who thought that Jesus was finished.
Inspiring messages.
I'm here to tell you today that you are excellent. God is excellent.
Empowerment from biblical motivation.
To be glorified means to endow with authority. A woman is a powerful, creative being.
Join Pastor Christopher Morgan and the Go for God team as we go for God.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life. Highlighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV. The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
We want to get into your business life. Tell me about your role as manager for marketing and PR for Bashco.
When I started at Bashco, I was in logistics and operations, and I was only asked for some help really in the marketing side, like in stages. And then in 2010, my boss moved me full-time into marketing and PR and made me the manager of that department. I really found that I had a passion for pushing the brand, and it's been a very, very interesting and a good learning experience because you start to understand the different types of shoppers, how they respond differently. And marketing for Bashco is exciting.
Right.
Because, well, the downtown firstly is your main offices in downtown. And then you have all the other, there's all the traveling involved because Bashco has 12 locations across Jamaica. When I first took over the job of marketing and PR, my goal was I wanted to make Bashco in the back of your mind all of the time when anyone is talking about, oh, I need to pick up something for my home. I wanted it to be Bashco. And, pat yourself on the back. We're there. Everybody, whether or not you make the effort to shop there because of wherever it might be or whatever, people know about the brand. And that's what I wanted to achieve. I love my team. They are the stones that build the building, that build your house. I'm not into construction. My brother would laugh at me. I probably forgot a step, right? But they're the foundation of what makes the marketing thing possible. And all the times you see me out and you see me in a photo or you see me on the internet or you see me on the TV.
They see you as a face, yeah.
Right, but it's because the team. Guys, I love you. Thank you for keeping this whole thing afloat, right?
What is it like for you working in a family-owned company? Do you find you get special treatment or do you have to work twice as hard? Which one is it?
Okay, that's a great question. And I can actually relate it to before I worked in Jamaica. The first job I had, I worked for my dad in Barbados. It's actually harder than people think.
Yeah.
The expectation is that, no man, your family, you figure it out. But what actually happens is that when people have their 9 to 5 and they go home, your phone rings. What happened today, man? What happened to so-and-so? You can't let me down.
Right.
There's an extra level of, I guess, pressure,
yeah.
but also expectation and that responsibility, and you have to own it. It has its benefits because you have a chance to sit down at someone's home and feel out their vision and feel out what they're talking about, what they're interested in, what they want to achieve, outside of the tie and long sleeve shirt setting. You know, you don't always have that in a non-familial setting, but I think it actually has helped me because having worked for family and not for family as well in my career, you bring the best of both worlds. So I could say it's probably harder than people think. It was hard working for my dad though. That was the hardest. Because not only do you go home and think, okay, the day is done, but then your dad comes down the stairs. What are you doing today? What? Like, Dad, come
to so-and-so. How did it go? What were the sales like?
Yeah, you know.
Omar, you seem to be so upbeat and full of energy and bubbly all the time. Is that how you naturally are?
No. No, I tell you something. Someone said to me one day, he says, I see you on TV. I see you in real life now. Clearly, you do, you make for do. I was like, yeah, this is me. This is who my family and my experiences have cultivated me to be this person. And I don't know how to not be me. Right. One of the things I tell everyone, you can accuse me of anything you want, but nobody can come to me and say, Omar, you're Janelle. No.
You're not.
This is me.
That you are not.
This is me.
Now, we've seen Bashco with some very innovative and strategic marketing moves over the last couple of years. What do you think has contributed to their success in that?
Bashco pays attention. And that's one of the things I tell people all the time. We changed our model heavily from a wholesale model where you had to come down to the stores and you could see the stuff, but you couldn't touch it. And you'd ask for, can I get this item number, please, on a piece of paper, and someone brings it out to you. Because that was what downtown and country shopping was all about. That was the wholesale concept. That's how Bashco was built originally. And we saw the shift. We noticed the shift from wholesale to retail and that desire to have people wanted to touch. People wanted space. People wanted to be comfortable. And the whole concept was, it was okay to not have that if you were giving somebody a deal. Bashco threw that out the window. This is about 5 years ago. We said, no, no, no. We are going to give people the best shopping experience you could expect in an environment you would never expect it.
Right. Plus the deal.
Plus the deal. Plus the deal. You know, so we pay attention, like I said. We have all these events catering to around me being there or other members of my team being in a store, talking to customers, listening to customers. So it's not just a suggestion box. You want to tell Omar something, Omar will be there, you can't tell me. That was one of the things we did. I wanted to be there. Before we had the Bashco parties and the Bashco limes, we had these things called Omar days, where I'd just be in a store. And people come and, Omar, I want to see some more of this plastic container. Right. Which one? Yeah. You know, and that kind of stuff. I says, boy, Omar, this is good and all, you know, but we really can't afford this. Okay, cool, no problem.
Right.
So we make a note of that, and so I take my time and I go back to the guys to do the buying. I says, this is great, we can see the sales report, and that's the thing, we do research, we do follow-up, we do check it out. So we see the sales report, this is great and all, but they're asking for it like this. Is this something we can get? I don't know, let's look into it. And then we do test runs. So it's a very good example. So we brought in this sofa or settee cover without any expectation of how well it would do. The thing flew off the shelves basically. And we found ourselves in a stock out situation and people were always there. When you're getting back settee cover, when you're bringing in sofa cover, you love seat, and so that's the feedback you get because you want to know. And then of course with social media being what it is, we have a very, very good social media team. They're listening, they're out there, they're answering questions. They make a call. Omar, I get a question, so-and-so, they want to know about this and this. Okay, follow it up, get back to people. And I think that's what it really has helped. Paying attention and being willing to make the big changes to accommodate Jamaica's environment now.
What would you say has been the key contributor to Bashco's growth and success over the years?
Okay, so along with the marketing pushes we've been making, Bashco has changed and diversified the lines offered in the stores. And the biggest thing for that was the addition of grocery lines. Because you couldn't find groceries in a Bashco location. That wasn't the thing. I would say, let's try it. Let's add a bit of canned goods here, a bit of some salt, some flour, some cornmeal. And it worked. And so we said, okay, people want this stuff. And so we treat it like that. We test this, we test this, we test this. Diversify. And then also being accessible.
Right.
So, like I said, we have 12 locations. And what we have done is made sure that locations are in places that are accessible to even in smaller places. So even our Linstead branch, I like to talk about it because it's so small. The Linstead store maybe is the size of this lawn, okay? But it's there and it's a Bashco and you can find what you're looking for.
Right.
And that's because just because you're in Linstead doesn't mean necessarily you want to drive to Spanish Town to go and get your stuff. You know, so we're there. We try to be there.
What would you say has been your biggest contribution to the industry here in Jamaica?
I think businesses were doing things differently, and because we made the effort, and I made the effort to be on the ground and be talking to customers, and physically someone from quote-unquote upper level management is walking around in a store, wherever that store is. I don't care if it's in Savlamar or if it's in Santa Cruz or if it's in Mandeville, I'll be there. And people don't expect that. And what has happened is that I've personified the brand.
Right.
And that personification of the brand has changed what people look for when they're shopping. They want someone to reach out to them. They want someone to engage them. They want someone who is... So yeah, you could shop other places. When I go here, this man talked to me. Because I believe all customers are customers. I don't care if you're spending $100 and something thousand on a brand new freezer or you're coming to buy a $100 plastic container. I don't care. I see every single customer as worth it. And that's the difference we've made. And I see other businesses doing it. I see other businesses with a personality. I see other businesses having more outside broadcasts. I see other businesses doing more television commercials and trying to make really, really good quality radio advertisements.
Right.
And I think that's good. I think I'm proud of that my efforts and my team's efforts have encouraged the industry to be better at what it does.
Right. How would you encourage other young professionals who are starting out in this industry or even otherwise?
You're not going to like my answer, you know.
Let me hear it first.
Let go of the haughty pride. I have had interviews with young people coming out of the universities. I'm a university grad. I am a UWI graduate. And I've met UWI graduates and I've met other graduates from around the world. And a lot of the problem I see, these young professionals come out, and I'm not saying don't be proud of yourself and believe in yourself, but whether or not you are the greatest thing since sliced bread, let your potential employer discover that. Don't force them to see it. One of the things I try and preach to my team is the greatest failing you can ever make is to believe you're infallible, right? Your first step in a situation where there's something going wrong is, okay, what did I do? That's your first step, not, oh, I'll go on with them, or what happened to them? What did I do? What can I do better? How can I improve what I just did? Let me consult myself and see what I can do differently. Before you blame someone else for the failings of a project or a team, or cry on an organization or try to change what they're doing, see how better you can contribute to the team and to the unit. And don't expect the world to owe you anything. Put in the effort. Just put in the effort.
Omar, I don't know about you, but all this talking has got me working up an appetite. So I am ready for lunch and to experience the macaroni pie.
Yes! Oh, you won't be disappointed, I promise you. I promise you won't be disappointed.
Coming up. So I guess what I want to know from you guys is, how would you describe Omar?
I'm proud of the man that my son has become. And I believe that there is still more that he can achieve.
There's only one recommendation for funding that is ever going to come from me, and that is funding from a bank.
This is the cost to build, and it includes every nail and screw for the building.
Our motto is building communities, building a nation.
Get in the know with the world of real estate with Business Access TV's Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
It's the only show that traces the steps of professionals.
From first and second form, I was involved in some club, some activity.
Then gives information on exactly how to get into that same career.
You do need a good grasp of English.
And know you can branch out into whatever area you want to.
Tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Career Moves and catch up on all our episodes at batvja.com.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access. Business Access. Business Access. Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Nice, huh? Crunch in a hot dog.
Cheers, cheers, bigger.
Cheers, cheers.
So I guess what I want to know from you guys is how would you describe Omar?
Omar is something else. There's very complicated person.
Say nice things.
He's a practical joker. He's a businessman. He is a thinker. He's a family man. He's a father. He's a husband. He's all kinds of the kind of person that you would, you know, be happy to call brother.
Right.
But at the same time, the kind of person that you slap with a 2x4 the first chance you get.
I've always wondered about Omar. He can be fun to be around. He can be very serious when he's ready. He's a very focused young man. He's actually my favorite second son.
Cheers, Pops.
Omar has, I think, a lot of the characteristics and qualities that I had when I was younger. The effervescence, the focused, purpose-driven type lifestyle, you know. I'm very happy about is the relationship that we all have. The three of us as men in the family, we have a very close, very tight-knit relationship. And I'm very pleased about that. I thank God for that. I'm very proud. I'm proud of the man that my son has become. And I believe that there is still more that he can achieve. Both of them. Both of them.
So Omar, talk to me about your childhood. How you were raised, where you were raised, your siblings.
Okay, so this is my brother.
Only brother?
Only brother. I think if there were any more siblings or what have you, we would have had a problem, I think, with the law. I grew up surrounded by my dad's family and my mom's family in Barbados. We would travel to Jamaica very frequently. Very close-knit family, so like how you see us spending barbecues here.
Right.
Every Saturday and Sunday, we go out to family house.
Right.
We're going to the beach, we're going out by a pool, we're going by somebody's house to eat some food, we're going to the movies. And that was it. That was how you spent most of your weekends. They used to call me Mr. Energy in school. And you know that. I'd try everything. Football, I'm going to try out. Cricket, I'm going to try out. High school for me was when I was introduced to playing an instrument, playing the trumpet. And it was like a whole new world. You know what I mean? It opened up things I would never have thought possible for me. And acting as well. I did acting in high school along with music. And while everyone was off running laps around the field or going in some party or whatever, I'm in the music room. And I'm having a great time in the music room. And that was it for me. I started a jazz band, I was in school orchestra, and it just kept going and going and going from there.
So tell us about your immediate family.
Well, you've met my brother, my dad, my mom, and now, of course, wonderfully enough, is my wife who was bringing me water. Tiger out, you're out, get out. Get out, get out, bring her in. I met Daniel apparently as kids in Barbados, I don't remember. And,
I don't remember either.
I was just about to ask.
We apparently were really young, so we don't remember.
Like 8.
Oh, okay.
We re-met at a party here in Jamaica at my dad's house. Barbecue kind of thing. Right, this is our thing, right?
Apparently.
Funny story, so I called her and says, hey, hi, it's Omar. She's all like,
Who?
Who?
Because by this time I had forgotten, right? It's 2 months later. Yeah.
Right. And I said, hey, you want to go see a movie? She's like, what movie? I think it was Iron Man 2. She's like, no, I saw it. I said, shut down. And then I says, so maybe we can go for ice cream. And she, I like ice cream.
Yeah, I do.
And I took her out for ice cream. And then 5 months after us starting dating, we got engaged.
Okay.
We were married by our 11th month of dating. I told you she just couldn't get enough of me.
Oh, okay.
Right? She was like, let's get married. No, no, no.
No. Yes.
No. And we were married. We were married for 3 years when we decided to have a child. And that's Asher. And it's been...
How many years now? How old is he?
He's 2. He turned 2 on July 9th.
Okay. But how many years have you been married?
We got married on May 15, 2011. See?
Which is how many years?
6 years.
There you go.
Right. All those guys who ever watch this, you want to always remember your anniversary on your wife's birthday? Set your Wi-Fi password as the dates.
Tell me more about your life in music.
like I said, I started in high school,
Right.
really. I had a jazz band, the Abstract Jazz Band.
Right.
We used to gig, play at like national events and that kind of stuff for corporate parties, that kind of stuff. Moved to Jamaica. I joined a band out here, Black Zebra, rock, reggae, and blues. And I keep practicing trumpet and percussion, as I think I mentioned it earlier. I love music, love to play music and to perform. So I'm in a band up here now, Suzanne Couch and her band. That's exciting because she's a real Jamaican artist and her music is impressive and it really stretches you, pulls better music out of you, you know. I wrote a song for our wedding and I actually sang it. That was the first time I wrote a song to sing. I used to call her and bug her at work.
He does.
I used to call her.
To sing the most annoying things, like on purpose, badly when I was in the middle of a meeting. He'd be like, honey, honey. And then he'd go, love you. Yeah.
It's easy cause you're beautiful. Just to mess with her.
That part would come right through the speakerphone. Yep.
Yeah, I do. I can sing. I don't sing as often as I play trumpet because physically it's impossible to do it at the same time.
Well,
keyboardists can sing and guitarists can sing. Trumpeters can't also sing. Too busy, you know? But music is a very, very big part of who I am. It leads to a lot of how I do other things in my life as well.
What's next for Omar Azan?
I love my work. I love my music. I absolutely love my family. And I think what I'm going to be trying to do going forward is build a bit more of myself into a brand and maybe start a business that we can run together. Maybe another child.
Why the air quotes?
We'll see how we'll do with one.
The future for us is we're going to build what we have and turn it into something that we can grow for our family.
Well, Omar, thank you so much for sharing this beautiful day with us.
Oh,
I
man.
had so much fun talking to all your friends and family, so thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. It's been nice to someone else come and see, you know, what else is Omar other than what they see on TV.
Exactly.
But thank you for coming.
Oh,
come back anytime.
Well, after that food, I definitely am. And I haven't even had that yet.
Yeah. None for you guys, sorry.
We've come to the end of another episode of Chill Spot where we spent the day with Omar Azan, Marketing and Public Relations Manager at Bashco, the store that gives you more. Remember, you can check out previous episodes of Chill Spot on batvja.com. Until next time, I'm Candy. Bye. What would you say has been the key contributor to back?
Well, the back though.
Oh, shoot, recording.
Remember to tune into Chill Spot this Friday at 8 p.m. with me and Candy.
Let's meet.
We're taking you beyond our shores, across the region and around the world. Every week, BATV gives you in-depth reporting on the major stories that gripped headlines in the Caribbean and on the international scene. Join us Sundays for This Week Abroad. Business Access TV, serious about business at home and abroad.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
With a variety of local TV programs to choose from, Jamaican TV has come a long way from the Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation, JBC, first airing in August of 1963.
And see you next Thursday at the same time for the grand finals of the Jamal JBC quiz.
Cameo takes a look at our Jamaican TV production industry. Vivacious media personality Denise Hunt is an all-rounder, actor, radio and TV presenter, and producer.
I've traveled all over the world doing plays. I've traveled with Oliver Samuels. I've traveled with David Heron, who I think is just the most wonderful thing since sliced bread. I've toured Europe. I remember touring Europe with a play named Love, Marriage in New York City. That was awesome. Against his will, one of my biggest parts, I played the part of a pregnant woman whose husband was raped, and as a mother, that just flattened me. That was a big part for me. I've done TV, plays on radio with Ed Wallace, radio drama. Wow, I've done quite a bit. You name it, I've done it. And I made the decision to lock my hair. I was advised not to do it. Nobody not gonna get no work. Come say you're black, you're on TV, you don't have the liquor work on TV already, and you're black and so. Let me tell you the challenges that existed for me. First of all, people couldn't figure out if I was a downtown girl trying to act uptown or I was an uptown girl trying to act downtown, right? For the record, I'm a downtown girl who's a downtown girl. So that was one kind of challenge where, you know, your audience and your fans, your viewers, whoever, tried to box you in a thing, and they wanted you to be who they wanted you to be. The other thing was my look. I'm a dark-skinned girl on TV. That was an issue. And so I fell into the trap initially of, oh, you know, the weaves and the flowing straight hair, and I'm like, this is not me. It started to affect me, you know what I mean? I wanted to have natural hair, and everybody's like, but if you have natural hair, you won't get the jobs on TV, you won't get the commercials, and I'm like, no, I'm going. And then I decided to lock my hair, and everybody's like, okay, you're done. I should not want to be a lighter Denise Hunt. I should not want to be a less black woman. I should not want to be any of those things because I am so fearfully and wonderfully made. Exactly. I am with my black skin. I have no issues with who I am, what I look like, what my talent can give, you know. But in the beginning, they did affect me. People would call and, you know, they'd call into a particular program I'd been doing and they'd say the most awful, mean things. And, you know, I don't think they do realize that when they say awful things to you, it hurts. You know what I mean? So I had those challenges that I had to deal with. Never paid them no mind eventually, but deal with it. I think people are relying on a physical look, or people are relying on, okay, so I have a talent, or maybe I like to do it. I think it's something interesting to do. I want to be in front of a camera. But they're not investing in training. They're not either finding somebody who can help them to develop, or finding a class or do a little certificate course or something. Some other challenges I see is with investment. I don't know if companies are taking the plunge to say, all right, I'm going to invest in the best equipment. I'm going to invest even in the cameraman, the sound man, the videographer, all the technical people. I'm going to invest in them so that my product can look good. I don't believe enough of that is being done. And so therefore, when you have one company, for instance, that sets the bar kind of high, they're super expensive. And then so you have, you know, this little hustling mentality that is going on because the technical guys are working for 3 different people just to make ends meet, kind of a thing. There's also the issue of remuneration. You know, people would say things like, oh, Denise is too expensive, or who do you think you are that you can charge this amount or whatever. Well, I've spent some time investing in my craft, and so if you want me to represent a product or represent a thing or a place or whatever, then it's a partnership that I want to form. I don't want to be your employee. I want to form a partnership with you so this product can look good. Employers and people who write the checks have to insist that they have the best working for them. And sometimes it may be up to the person who is developing a cable station or a radio show or whatever it is to say, all right, I see something in this talent, whether the talent is presenter or technical person. I am going to invest, or I'm going to say to the talent, listen, I want you to do something to invest in yourself and to make yourself look better for my product, and here's the help I can give to you. Right? Because if we don't keep training and we just keep accepting, oh, I have a nice voice, I have a nice look, oh, I can manage the most fancy equipment, or, you know, my camera angles are the greatest thing, and I don't do nothing to keep myself relevant, then what's the point? It's never and will never be about the money, not for me. I had an itch from a very early age, and it needed to be scratched, and I was like, if I don't do something with this energy, I'm just gonna combust, right? In Jamaica, it's not, which is so unfortunate, because when you go to the States, they shell out, they pay. Why? Because they believe that the talent, and when I say talent, I'm talking in front of the camera and behind the camera, the talent makes the product. So they pay, and they pay on time. If I do good and you do good, we all look good. And the rest of the Caribbean is drooling over what Jamaica is doing, because they're like, oh my goodness, Jamaica put out this product and the rest of the Caribbean want to copy it. Why? Because we look good, we sound good, and everything is packaged nicely. But guess what? The Jamaicans are not getting paid. The Trinidadians are getting paid. Oh my goodness, the Bajans are getting paid. Why the Jamaicans not getting paid? You think the money not here? The money is here. Pay the talent. The opportunities are coming, you know. It's not as bad as back in the day when, you know, you have the CM2 little programs and you had 15 presenters, or you had a tiny pool of camera guys, sound guys, videographers, editors. I think people are paying attention. You know what I mean? People are paying attention to say, all right, you know, slowly we're getting there. We are, you know, companies like yours, they are investing in the equipment. The pace is not as brisk as it should be, but money is an issue, right? But it's coming. I have hope it's coming. In Jamaica, we tend to think of the creative industry as something on the side. So we're not investing in it, and the people who want it are not willing to pay for it because it's seen as a hustle. This is my life, you know. This is my job. But I believe in my heart that I was born, I was gifted by God Almighty with a talent. And if I never use it, I'd be committing a sin against God. This is a job. And the creative industry, the people within the industry need to step up and say, listen, this is what I'm worth. I am not going to accept $10 when I have spent $2,000 on all this equipment and bring it in and pay how much duty upon it and all this kind of thing. We need to get some concessions going from government to say, okay, you're bringing in equipment that has to do with this job, that's been filmed in this country or whatever it is in this country, going to make the country look good, you get a little tax break. You see what I'm saying? We have to start look at it like it's worth something.
Coming up next.
Adam and Eve Day Spa and Salon plans to indulge you this Valentine's Day. Ah yes, drift away, cocoon your body in rich chocolatey goodness, add a massage or a facial in our executive suite. Try out our rainforest water massage to ignite your experience. Do your hair or a couple's mani-pedi. Treat your taste buds to succulent chocolate treats. Come, be pampered. Call us at 754-6018 or visit us at 20 Tobago Avenue, New Kingston. Give the gift of love. Give Adam and Eve. Gift certificates available.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event.
Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357, or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Sharon Schroeter, producer of popular local TV programs like Intense and Digicel Rising Stars, spoke to us about the challenges of her industry.
When I started in 2001, I used to produce Smile Jamaica, which is a morning show on TVJ. Then I moved into working with Anthony Miller for ER. So I used to present a little for that one and help him be like an assistant producer. Then I did Hype Zone, which was an entertainment show. Then came My Baby, which is Digicel Rising Stars. And I've worked on that from 2004, yeah, when it started. So, yes, wow. I've been doing this for a while. I do Intense as well. I produce that. I am the line producer for The Contender and for Magnum Kings and Queens of Dancehall. I have a kids show called Mini Matters. I produce the YVAs, which is the Youth View Awards.
It's one of the premier shows right now that Jamaica's.
I love the excitement of it. I love the fact that you never know what's going to happen. And I like that pressure. So I think if I was to say I specialize in anything, it would be live. One main challenge is always budget. Always, you know. The more money you have, the more you can do. And that's always a challenge. Another challenge that I have personally is when you do get the budget, you have sponsors. And sponsors always want their names everywhere. And I have an issue with that. I think that if you can find a creative way to do that, then yes. But a lot of companies, you know, they want everybody must see their feather banner or bunting, which I hate. But that's another challenge, just working with the sponsor to kind of come up with something that will look good not only for your show, you know, but for them as well, and something that is creative, something that is outside of the box, because that's important. You know, you don't always have to stick to the same thing all the time. Just, you know, something different. You know, in productions, there's always going to be problems. You're always going to have crew that's late. You know, that is another issue. You have to know what to do and how to deal with it. I think, for me, I'm a very easygoing, my personality is very easygoing. So while I do work a lot under stressful situations, you will never hear me curse. You will never hear me shout. You'll never, nothing like that. I don't do that, because I think that if you do that, you get everyone else around you in that, you know, getting that same feeling, and I don't want that because it affects the job at the end of the day. Yes, crew is a challenge sometimes, but it's something that you live to, you can work with. You know, I have a feeling that a lot of people think that what we do is easy. That we just come, we turn up, we point a camera at you, and we're good to go. You know, not a lot of people know the intricacies and the importance of what we do and how it makes them look. At the end of the day, it boils down to money and training. If more money was pumped into training, you know, a lot of people in the industry, and getting us good equipment to work with and sending us off on courses, you know, to learn so that we can work anywhere in the world, you know, not only here. That is something that they need to focus more on. There are a lot of people out there who are in this industry, but I don't think that they have the passion that others do. So it's a hurry come up production with some of them, and at the end of the day it makes everybody else look bad, you know. So I think if we regulate it, and if there's, you know, that there's one body who you go to who you say, all right, if you want a videographer or a presenter, that there's a list of people who you can call on, and these people are, everybody's certified, and you know, I think something like that would be important to the industry, you know, so that you don't end up with something that you don't want, and then you figure that, oh well, this is how everybody in Jamaica is, so you're going to call in somebody from foreign, when there are people here who are just as good as the ones in foreign, or even better.
Welcome, my Mini Matters friends.
It's such a huge business. Television production is a huge industry, and I think that, you know, persons who, take for example, who are at Karamak or, you know, at NCU, they need to get more hands-on experience, so that when they come out, you know, they have an idea, they know before what it is that they're interested in, because there's so many different aspects of production. But there are lots of opportunities. I just think that not a lot of people are given the opportunities, and there isn't enough space, you know, for these persons who want opportunities. But there's so many different avenues. I mean, I think you have to be willing to. It boils back down to passion. I have a major passion for what I do, and if I want to make myself better, then I'm going to learn every avenue of production, and I'm going to follow behind people. Even 15 years in this industry, there's still things that I don't know, and so I'm going to ask questions. And I think, you know, it's important for people who want this opportunity to come in, ask questions. Don't be afraid. Don't link up with someone at the end of the day is who you know, to make it easier to get into the business. If the system was regulated, it wouldn't be as difficult. But you know, it's who you know. Come in and ask questions. And if you're somebody who can be tolerated, then I think you never know what can happen. You know. One of my main reasons for getting into TV was because I want to make a change, I want to make a difference. And I was seeing a lot of things on TV that I didn't like, you know, and not things that I'd want my kids to sit down and watch, which is why I started a kids show, so that it's something that my kids and everybody else's kids can sit down and watch and enjoy and learn from. So anything that I do has to make sense, and has to be something that is going to effect change, whether it be in one person, in two, or the entire country. It's something I just want to make a difference in TV. So that is something that I'm always going to be doing once I'm in this industry, is trying to make a change and trying to make a difference in someone's life, you know, through TV.
Coming up next.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show, and Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV, serious about business.
We are back with another exciting, innovative and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well we lock down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Run it.
CEO of Phase 3 Productions, Delano Forbes has worked across the Caribbean producing live multi-camera sports and entertainment events, among other TV-related programs.
Phase 3 is a television, film, and multimedia production company. Pretty much we provide the TV stations, media companies with all kinds of creative and technical resources and infrastructure. On the film side, quote unquote film side, you know, when shoots come into Jamaica, if it means facilitating shoots or even local films, you know, which we don't really have as many local films going on at any given time, but generally we act as a resource, again, helping to book crews, book equipment, pretty much any kind of service from a pin to an anchor. If somebody just needs something very small, or they'll call us and say, hey, you know, we have a large production and we need all these services. On the multimedia side, Phase 3 is very involved in events. So a number of events that we work at, whether it's a Sumfest or a Jazz Festival or a Shaggy at Friends, Phase 3 is well known for providing big screens at events, as well as corporate AV events, annual general meetings, awards ceremonies, sales seminars, that kind of thing. We provide a lot of AV from the big screens to the cameras, a wide range of services for the event space. I don't really like to focus on the negatives per se, because for every challenge there's something good can come out of it. But I think most people would probably say some of the challenges which is evolving is off the bat there were at one point there weren't that many media outlets. I see that slowly evolving, and as there are more media outlets in Jamaica present themselves, cable stations, TV stations, that kind of thing, you find the market end up being more competitive, and I think that competition somewhat, will improve the production value. And I think once the production values are improved and things start to, the shows, that kind of thing, start to look and be presented a lot better, I think you'll find even the sponsors themselves willing, to contribute more. But in terms of, the budget, the cost related to TVs, I think what most people would probably say is going to be a big challenge. Just because we're a small market, Jamaica is 2.5 million people, and I mean we have to be reasonable in terms of when we compare ourselves to some of the bigger markets. And the main reason why they can go out and do the types of productions that they do at the level they do is because of the market that they're catering to. So until we can produce shows that have a wider market outside of just Jamaica, or even the region is still relatively small. If you add the region up together, that's going to be a half of a state in the States. So the budgets are often a factor, and that's very tied to just the size of our market and a number of other factors. From a business perspective, I definitely think the government in terms of incentives, and that's not to say that the government can dole out a check and say here, and there are some things in train. There was the Film Producers the Film Producers Recognition Act that used to be in place. You have the omnibus and a few other legislative type things that facilitate business. But so that, I think, cutting out the red tape, allowing people, you do find that there are a lot more people coming into the industry. I think training. We are at Phase 3, I think we're somewhat known as a training institution for the industry. A lot of persons come here, some having formal training, some not. And I mean, we've had workshops where people are like, wow, you know, in a short period, we've learned a lot. You know what I mean? So I do think training, exposure, you do have some organizations now that, you know, are involved in training, but a number of them I think need to get more hands-on and, you know, integrate with the real world. You know, every year Phase 3, we take on about 20 or so interns over the course of the summer. And I can tell you, some of them, you know, work here today, not right here, but one of them is shooting the bold ones right now. Phase 3 will operate, as I kind of explained, you know, we operate on many different levels. So at any given time, you know, we're very, you know, we work on a lot of live shows and live sporting events. So we produce the World Cup qualifiers, you know, we produce a number of games for CONCACAF when, you know, when the needs for the international broadcast, as well as a lot of the local productions that we're a part of. And we support a lot of production companies. I don't think a lot of people necessarily realize that often our role is facilitating even what many people view as our competitors. You know, it's not unusual for a lot of, you know, a Storm or a Casa or a J. Will or all of those production persons, they call on us for whatever resources. Could be something very small, it could be something big. So we often, you know, our role is often to support the industry. And we're hoping from, you know, from the different areas that we work in, from the TV broadcast side, which as explained, I think is growing, to the film production, which hasn't been growing as much, but you do have a lot of shoots, reality shows. You know, thank you, Mr. Bolt. A lot of productions come to Jamaica because of Usain Bolt. You know, or music, the music industry, a lot of documentaries, a lot of activity in that space. And then, you know, events, we're very involved with events. You know, there are more and more events and events. Any promoter needs a big screen. So a lot more TV being produced. So you have new people coming into the industry, and they can come into the industry if they see an opportunity, if they see a future where they can earn, you know, a living for themselves and their family. Certainly you'll see more and more people looking into this space and being interested in it because they can see it as a real, you know, as a real career. Whereas before, I think to some extent, people probably don't look at this type of business and think it can be a business or it can be serious, you know. Even in our 30+ years of being, you know, in business, it started as a hobby. You know, most people are like, you know, like a camera thing, whatever. You know, that's not a real career. But certainly, I think, you know, there are many people in the industry have made careers out of it and, you know, been able to do, I think, reasonably well. Everybody obviously thinks could always be better. I think most people would say that, but I think we're in an era where TV is growing in Jamaica, and a lot of that has to do with the media outlets. There are more local channels. I mean, Business Access TV, for example. 15 years ago, you couldn't dream of having a Business Access TV. You know, and there are many other cable platforms, cable stations coming on stream. So all of those platforms need to have content that has to be made by somebody. So once those platforms are up, the people making it currently and do well, you know, they can somewhat be at a bit more of a premium, if you want to call it that. And B, you'll have other people coming in and saying, wow, I can actually make a career out of this. This is something that I want to do.
And that's it this week for Cameo. Even in the midst of challenges, our creative industries continue to shine. I've been your host, Amita Prasad Webb.
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
My name is Safri Brown, and you're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.